is 5.2 million. Now, don't look at the numbers. Don't say it's so large. Just focus on activating 5 disciples. Your team should focus on activating 5 more disciples, and you focus on activating 1 more person every quarter. Right? We're going to say something. We're going to ask. Okay. So everyone just duplicate every quarter. If you are activating people, now listen, don't forget that the word here is activation. So I'm activating you to activate others. That means both of you are activated. It's like, I always remember chemistry whenever I think of the word activation. When molecules come together, a stagnant molecule and thank you. And the one that is moving all over the place, and then it hits the stagnant one, that one starts to move. There's bombardment, and no molecule in the jar can remain the same as long as one is activated. Everyone must move. That's exactly what we're trying to do here. We need you to be activated so that the world can be activated. You see, Jesus wanted to take the world. He focused on raising 12 activated people. He trained, of course, he trained others, but those guys were trained. Rigorously, he had given everything to those people. He focused on 12. Why would he focus on a small number to reach a large number of people? Have you ever thought of that? Let's go into it. All right. So here, 5 million. Now, next slide, go on. What would happen by 2031? 83 million. That's the next year. Now, I'm sure there are things, give or take, but imagine if we just kept on moving and moving and moving. If it was not possible to take the world, Jesus wouldn't have asked us to do it. That's the truth. And he wouldn't have given us a strategy for doing it. Right? So here we have 83 million. By 2032, just 2033, 2 years after the 1 million mandate, if we are moving at the speed we want to move, we will hit 21 billion. The world will not be 21 billion by then. Now you can see the power of discipleship. You can see the power of activated men. Activated men can take the world. 1 million activated disciples. The world will be in trouble. Because even if we were to reach out to 8,000 men each, it will be possible in a short time. In a shorter time than this. I want you to catch a vision today. I want you to catch this vision. This 1 million mandate vision. Can we all do this together? Because if we can hit it, then there's nothing we cannot do. Next slide. So this morning, we're going to talk about these 4 things. These are the GIS strategies. Number 1, we're going to define our target. Who's our target? Who really are the people that we're trying to target? The world is our reach. There's a difference between reach and target. We're trying to reach the world. But our target are the few that will reach the many. They are the few that can be activated to go. Number 2, where can we find them? Now we're going to be thinking like marketers, right? We are marketers because we are marketing. Some marketers, I can see Minister NK is awake. She's loving this. So we are thinking marketing. This is marketing. So where can we find them? 2, 3, how do we even attract them? Okay, now we know where they are. How do we attract them to us? We know what we're trying to do here is to take laymen or to make laymen or to turn laymen into activated disciples. The end point is what? Discipleship, to activate. The start point is that they are laymen. They are unchurched. They are unsaved. That's where they are right now. How do we attract them? Number 3, how? Number 4, how do we activate them? How do we get them to the point of becoming disciples that raise disciples? It's not enough for people to come to church. It's not enough for them to sit in the aisles. They have to be activated to go. Very important. And that's why we say in Dominion House, we are not a sitting church. We are a sending church. Because our strength is in the numbers that are activated to go. Do you understand this? I want to break this down so that when we say things, you say, hey, that's what we're talking about. That's, at a point in my life, I could recite the vision of the Dominion House and I didn't really understand it. I just crammed it. Because how do you make us just sit down at leaders meeting and say, recite visions. So we just say, please, that vision that was shared yesterday, Know it though. I will test you on it. Those that I'm talking to, they know themselves. But you can cram something and not understand it. You can put it in your head and you don't understand it. Right? So, but I need you to understand what we are getting into and what you are getting into. Because if you don't see it, you can't run with it. If you don't understand why the 1 million magnet is important, you will not grow your team. You won't understand how that your small team is important. Do you understand? You don't be saying, Pastor, yesterday it was not easy. I was not feeling fine. But when you think 1 million mandate, my 5 to 10, I just want to play my own part so that we can hit this goal. Nothing will stop you from running. Do you understand what I'm saying? You will run fast. You will hit your goal. No one will drag you. You will get it done. Because you understand, we have a goal. 2030, we must hit that 1 million. Hallelujah. Next, our target. Can we read it together? Okay, I just put that where they are. So young, upwardly mobile people, or upwardly mobile young people. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our target market and why. Next slide. The world is young. Many people, the median age is 30.5 years. Number two, 42% of the entire population is below the age of 25, inclusive of children. And, but between the ages of 15 to 24, we have 16% of the world's population, which is about 1.6 billion people. Now, we actually want to take people under 30. So if we extend to that age, we have about 2 billion people. That means 1 out of every 4 persons is within this age group. Let's move on. So young people are tomorrow's future leaders. So investing in them. They're saying, the leaders of tomorrow, let's just leave it. Let's leave that one because our leaders of today are still... Let's move on. But yeah, investing in young people is investing in the future. So we are preserving the future. The future of everything is in the young people. That's the truth. The young people are the future. And then the next is the lifetime value. How many of you know what lifetime value means? In marketing, there's something they call lifetime value, meaning the value of a customer. The value of the how do I say this in layman's terms? If the value of with your business. Okay, so for instance, why do you think Coca-Cola reaches out to young people? Because if you start drinking Coke at a young age, you will drink it to your old age. Yeah. So that's why you see most of the when they used to do adverts really well. How many of you remember that beautiful ad? Some of you were not born. I'm so sorry. We are the future of the world. How many of you have seen it? We are the hope of our eyes. Nobody else is raising their hand. Only those in front. Oh my goodness! I'm so sorry. It was in the 90s, and some of you were not born. But it's been going viral recently. I saw it again on somewhere. It was to you. We got a message to bring. They were all teenagers because they are trying to show you that this is the drink of the future. If you want that advert, you drink Coke. Like if you want that advert, you will cry and you will say, "Give me Coke. I don't care what it is. I'm going to drink it." Because the advert is Coke is reaching out to young people, saying, "We want you. You are our future." If a person of 16 starts to drink Coke, he will drink the Coke till he's 80. If the Coke does not kill him before then. Do you understand? So that's what we call lifetime value. So he has how many years? If he starts at 16 and he dies at 80, how many years is that? 64 years of drinking Coke. So why would they not reach out to young people? They will leave all the young people and reach out to young people because once they get them young, once they cut them young, they cut them for life. What? That's your wallet. That one is on the side. But you see, people can't. Coke. The price of Coke is rising, and people are still drinking Coke. As in, it's addictive. So they catch you young, they catch you for life. And that's exactly what we are trying to do in Dominion House. Now let's bring it home. Boom, back to the board. So if we cut them young, we cut them for life. Why? It's very difficult to activate people when they are older because they are formed. Yeah. If you must break a pot, if you must melt a pot, if you must how do I say it? Reshape a pot. You have to break it and melt it and take it back to the soft form, and then you now remold it. I mean, that process is long. But if you have soft clay, and then and some clays are not remoldable, even if you break them, nothing will happen. You understand what I'm saying? So remember what people were saying yesterday. Some people have been choked. Some people are unyielding. Why? It is what they have been exposed to from young ages. So they are now adults. They are hard. It's difficult to break. It's difficult to break most adults. Thank God for the, all of us here that, that are Gen Zs. But that's the power of discipleship. Funny enough, when I think about my life, I started when I was on campus somehow. No, I started when I was as a child. And that's why I got used to evangelism. I got used to doing evangelism at 10. I got used to walking up to old people at 10. Because someone started discipling me at that age. My mother started discipling me. And now I'm being discipled. So it's like, it is a part of my life. So when young people are trained early, it's no longer a problem. They are not getting jobs that will stop them. When I'm talking about when they are really disciples, not just when they're activated and set on fire and nothing happens after them. Which is what happens most times. That's why we have people saying, oh, I was on fire in school, but now I've put those things behind me. That's lack of discipleship. So it's because they were not trained. They just caught fire. Zeal without knowledge. That was what happened. But so, do you understand what we're trying to do now? We want to raise young people that will raise young people, that will raise younger people. So they will become mommies and daddies tomorrow. And guess who they'll be raising? Their children. Imagine Dara Simi now. Dara Simi doesn't have a choice. In fact, someone was telling me, I said, my own children, they don't have a choice. They will do ministry. They don't have a choice. What do they want? They have to do ministry. What will they be doing with their lives? So you see, they are automatic disciples. Whether they like it or not, they will grow up thinking that is how all men should live. And that is exactly what we're talking about here. If young people, if we're raising if we're thinking of 1 out of every 4 people, that's 25% of the world's population. We're just thinking that small population, just 2 billion people as our target market. But we're activating them to activate the rest of the 6 billion. Does it make sense now? So we're not trying to reach everybody because we can't even do that. So we'll train and send, which is what Matthew 28 said. All right, next. So where are they? We know these ones now. Where are they? You can say this one offhand. So where are the young people? Can the young people answer? I apologize. We are all young. But I'm talking about the younger people. All right, great. So where do we find the ones that are not here? TikTok, online, great. Write it down as you are saying it. I want to hear from you. Those at the back. Where do we find the young people? How do we reach billions of young people? Snapchat. I want to hear from you. YouTube. Schools. So we have them in the secondary schools and in the universities, right? Write it down. No, this is we are all doing strategy together, so that you understand what we are trying to do, right? And you understand why we are doing what we are trying to do. So what's the next point? Where are they in the cities? If they are in the cities, where would they be? Offices? Yeah. Maybe as in there'll be like startup levels. Startup level, Now we have people that work from home. We have a lot of work from home. In fact, this generation, they don't go to offices. They work from home. So that means that the online space is still remains the where we'll see most of them. Yeah, that's a hub. That's the main hub, right? Where else can we find them? In the NYSC camps. I'm talking about where we can find a large number of them, so that when we are reaching them, we are not just reaching them one-on-one. We are trying to reach them en masse. Sports. Oh, wow, that's awesome. I never even thought of that. That's so true. Please write it down. I want you to write it down, not just what's on my board. We are all thinking together. All right? Recreation centers. Oh, okay. I'm learning. Jobberman. Remind me to target Jobberman. That's so true. If you put Jobberman on targeting, you target it online. Like, that's a good one. That's another curb on its own. A community. Where else? Let's think. Gyms. Really, young people now gym. Okay, yeah, that's true. Sorry, I forgot. No, I didn't know that they like. Pastor David is looking at me like, seriously. I didn't know that they like, because in my time we're not gymming. Gymming was not in vogue. Okay, that's a good one. Clubs. We can target all these people online, even if we can't target them in person. So write it down. So that if you're lighthouse pastors, this strategic session, you have to be very attentive. Because you're going to be using it. You're going to be practicing it. All right. So the point is we need to know where they are so that we can get them there. And we're not just thinking one-on-one evangelism alone. That is important. But that can be the only way. We're now moving on to some more strategies. Next. So how? Giving all, now we know where they are. How can we attract them? I want to hear from you. Your ideas. We're all learning. We're strategizing. Write it down. That is a very important point. I know that we are. Let me say something here. What we are trying to achieve is to turn them to disciples. But at this point, we are trying to attract them. Hold on. I'm going to ask you. Yeah, just hold on. In fact, your points are nice. Just hold on. But here, we're trying to attract them. At the point of attraction, we cannot present to them the end product. We need to understand that. Somebody said fake party. Fake parties. Oh, there. Purpose parties. In fact, I did not write those points. Hold on. No, wait. All these points, we need to write them down. So don't be in a hurry to let them out. We're going to write them down. But what I'm trying to say here is that, we have to be like a plum. There's a plum church and there's a coconut church. So the plum church is soft on the outside and it's hard on the inside. The coconut church is hard on the outside and is soft on the inside. It's water safe on the inside. So we have to be like the plum. Discipleship is our product. That is our product. That's what we're selling. But we cannot present them with discipleship. We have to attract them. There's something someone said to me. Fishermen have nets. What are our nets? Baits. If we're going to go fishing, we have to have baits and nets. So now, what are our hooks? How do we attract them? That is the next question. Now, someone has said, solve their problems, which is so... that word of the question solve their problem even covers everything. The fact that you're talking about what do young people need? So the question now is, what do young people need? You have to know, you have to know your target audience inside out. You need to know them to be able to reach them. So what are their behaviors? What are their needs? What are their... To reach the world that we are sent to, we need to know their language. And then give them our own. So money, financial empowerment. Wait, let's raise our hands. There's a lot of cross answers going on. Because we're writing down these points. How many minutes do I have more? Okay, so Daniel wants to say something. Participate in what they do. Depends on what they do. For example, okay, register in a gym to meet them. Go for sporting events. That's a nice. Please, all here, write it down. Write it. Okay, open lounge. No, man, I won't open lounge. I'd rather go to Olden. Okay, you know what you do? Just write down all the ideas you have in your notes. How do we attract them? Where are they? And how do we attract them to us? Free. We are not going to do free food. It's a good one, but All right. Let's move to the next slide. Let's move to the next. Okay, yeah. Don't worry. I'll ask you this another time. Let's move faster, faster. Wait. Let's show the Lamborghini again. Do you know why I put this here? Who knows what this? All right, those are the back. Can we have one house, please? There's too much noise coming from the back. Thank you. Lamborghini said we do not do TV adverts because our target market is not on. They are not watching TV. Ouch. You see, the first time I saw this statement, it hit me differently. Because we don't just do things because we need to do them. But so we don't just do things haphazardly, but we are intentional about being where our target market is. And you see, as church leaders, campus churches, next communities, lighthouses, you have to think out of the box to ask yourself, where is my target audience? Where are they? Where are the people that I'm trying to reach out to? Because if Lamborghini just said, let's do TV adverts, because everybody's doing TV adverts. So they're not there. Their market strategy was completely different because they had to reach, they were trying to make people buy cars in billions. Those guys don't watch TV. They don't watch TV. They don't watch TV. And they understood it. So they had to be intentional about their marketing. So we have to be intentional. We have to strategize about what we're trying to. We have to be intentional about reaching young people at all costs so that we can raise them to go. Next slide. All right. Now let's look at our cold evangelism. Cold evangelism are like cold calls. Cold calls, right? In marketing, we do cold calls. We call people that we don't know. People that don't know you, people that you have not reached out to before, people that don't understand you. So there are people on the road, people in our offices, people around us that don't know, people online that have not heard about Dominion House or discipleship. So cold evangelism is reaching people who don't know you one-on-one. In Dominion House, we do cold evangelism by, how do we do it? Street evangelism, right? Yeah? Now, it's important because what cold evangelism does is it makes people come to a point of awareness. At least it tells them you exist. And that is the start point of marketing. People should know that at least you exist. That's the start point of marketing. However, during cold evangelism too, we get to preach the gospel. That's where we do our evangelism practicals, where we practice the preaching of the gospel. Preaching to unbelievers, preaching to believers that need to be activated. You know, it's the same tool for both markets, for unbelievers and for the unchurched. Same tool of the gospel. All right? So here we have people that are unbelievers. We get to meet them, we get to preach them. You know, I tell people that when I go out for evangelism, it's mainly to network, to meet friends that will meet Jesus. So, but I'm not really trying, yes, I get some of them to come to church, but those of them that don't come to church, what happens to them? So when we go out on the cold evangelism, we get names, 1 or 2 people. The percentage of conversion for cold evangelism is 1 to 3%. Only less than 3% take a buying decision the first time they hear about a brand. Only 3%. Sometimes 0%. So sometimes you get conversion. Sometimes you don't get conversion. Because it's called evangelism. So there has to be a way of, what about the remaining 97%? Or the remaining, do you understand? What happens to them? How do we follow them up? How do we nurture them so that they can become disciples, so that they can take action? So that this training is all about how to activate them. So now, from henceforth, we will not be throwing away our contacts anymore. We have to be more strategic about them. I'm going to be talking about that during the course of this session, right? So we're not just sitting down and saying, oh, this person didn't come to church, so I'm just going to forget about him. There is a way you can nurture your contact. Now, the next pyramid is very important so that you understand what I'm saying. Next slide. This is what we call larger market formula. I don't want to go into all of this, but I want you to understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. Now, this is a research that was carried out. 1 to 3% of people make a buying decision immediately they hear about the brand. But there's another 97% that are in the lower part of the pyramid. These guys don't make a buying decision immediately. But if you can nurture them, some of them will start to buy. So 70% are not out. They are gathering information. What's Dominion House? Where are they? They are very hard. They even do growth plan. What's the meaning of that? I've never heard it before. I'm not doing. Those are people that will come to your CIDs. They will look around. When it's time to join church, they'll say, "What am I doing?" Or they'll come for your boot camp. Say, "I like you guys, but I can't deal. It's too much." Or too intense. I can't deal. Or the people you see on the road that will say, "I'll come, don't worry, I'll come." And they won't come. They have been trying to make them come for the past 1 year. Nothing has happened. Gathering information. Now, 20%, they're not even aware. They don't know that they need to be discipled. I mean, look at that parable of sower just brings it out. They don't understand. So many people don't even get it. Okay, so what is this discipleship? I'm going to church all my life. Why do I need it? What is it for? Why do I have to be a disciple? Why can't I just go to church, mind my business, sit in the aisles, not say hi to anybody, and just go out? It is between me and my God. It's a personal relationship. We hear that a lot. And so you see the 17%, 20%, and then 6%, they don't even know that they have a problem. Maybe the unbelievers. Who is Jesus? Why is he? I thought he died. Oh my God. The day I saw that, I think it was a video. I saw what was preaching about Jesus. I said, "Do you know Jesus?" I thought he died. It will show you that we have work to do. Come on, tell your neighbor there's work. Work that we had better be doing. You see, at this time, we can't sit around and start to say, "I'm not going to get involved." Because it doesn't make sense. Please, can we have one house? It doesn't make sense. All right. Now, the money, the real money in a business is at step 2 and step 3. The people that target step 2 and step 3 are the ones that make the money. Everybody is trying to fight for the top 1 to 3%. And that competition is very tight. Because you can't how many people will come your way. But if you can nurture the ones below to get to the point above, then you will make more money. Now, let's bring it home. If you can nurture the ones below to get to the point above, you will get more disciples. And so we're going to be talking about the strategies that will help us nurture people from the bottom pyramid to the top of the pyramid. These are our global invasion strategies. Can we go on now? Do you understand? Do you get it? All right, next. Network evangelism. I spoke about cold evangelism before. And the reason I showed you that pyramid is because most of the time when we do cold evangelism, we're just focusing on the 1 to 3%. So those who come, they are good. Those who don't come, we just sift them. And the waste. Meanwhile, these people will make a buying decision if we nurture them further. Because people are in different places. Some already know, some are already aware. So people that are already looking, people that are hungry, that are saying, "Hi, I need somewhere." Those are people that we catch. Because those ones are already aware that I'm hungry, I need food. So when they find our food, they just start eating it and say, "Hey, you understand, this one is a good one." But that's not where there are several 97% others that don't know, they don't even know that they need it. Some of them don't understand, they don't just get it. How do we reach these ones? Because that is where our market is. That is where we really succeed. That is how we really get a lot of conversions from all the work that we do. All right, next. Oh, sorry. Please stay where you are. Now, we talked about, we know network evangelism, right? We know this one. We've been talking about it for a while. So basically, it's reaching out to people in your network, within your network. And we do it in 2 ways. I'm breaking it down so that everybody will understand this thing very well. 2 ways. The first way is partnership. What is partnership? A mature believer strategically partners with a new believer to bring his network into the church. Very simple definition. So if I am a leader, I'm a, life cell leader. And then this young guy, please come, sir. Thank you. Joins my cell. Now, let me tell you something about being a cell leader. You have to be very strategic. When you see newbies in your cell, gum body on them. You know why? These guys have a large network of unchurched people or unsaved people. Their network of unsaved or unchurched people is larger than most of your guys are probably all disciples. You have brought them all in. They are all born again. Your house is born again. Your children are born again. Your family is born again. Your dog is born again. So, and they are being discipled because, of course, that's what a disciple does. Disciples every other person around them. But now a new person joins your team. What you should be thinking is, oh, this guy has a network of unbelievers, people that are like him. You have to be very strategic about this. You know, one day, RD was asking me, how did you get the girl, my manager, my current manager in my shop? I said, I found somebody, her friend. And I said, this girl has leadership capacity. And I said, please, do you have a job? She said, oh, I already have a job. My boss makes me run everything. I said, do you have a friend? That's like you. Of course, people like that will have people like that in their network. So I said, please bring that your friend. Networking. It's a skill. And honestly, our friend is doing great. And that's exactly how we should think as leaders. You should think, who is the next person that can help me achieve my goal? They are the newbies. I'm telling you, we're not supposed to do everything ourselves. So when we say we multiply, replicate, just one newbie can get you 5 people. I'm telling you the truth. So at the beginning of the semester, we are meant to bring in people into our CBS, right? I don't know. That's how we're supposed to be. If you really understand it, we're supposed to bring in people into the CBS, into the life cell, like bring them en masse into our boot camp. It's the newbies you will use. There's a newbie in my cell called Divine. He's here. So don't worry, don't share yourself. So I sat down with Divine. I said, Divine, now you're Divine. I said, Divine, I need all your friends in your network, all your friends, people that are like you that need to be churched, or people that are not saved in your network. And I said, please, can you write down what's the next thing? This name list. You see, most of the time we feel it's not necessary, but you see that art of writing that thing down. First of all, it gives you focus. It helps you to know that I can reach out to. Just say, write down 20 people. 20 people that you would like to join, you want to bring into this life cell, or you want to bring into this Connect Bible Study. We want more people to learn about it, especially because Divine's life has been changed. You know, Divine will be writing testimonies. You write testimonies on your status, talk about what has happened to you personally. You understand what I'm saying? So he is the perfect example, or is the perfect hook for his kind. So I said, just write about it. Tell your friends about it. Tell your friends what has happened to you. Your story. Just your story is enough. And I said, oh, you attend a Bible study on Wednesday, really? And it has changed you and a church on Sunday, and it has changed you I must come and watch. But you see, the thing about this is we have to be strategic about this. So that's what we call partnership. And yesterday when I told Divine, I was like, my friends are not going to follow me. And I said, why? He said, because they don't take me seriously. I said, don't worry. Just tell them your story. That's enough. They don't even have to take you seriously. Just tell them your story. You tell them your story and tell them that my life has been transformed by this thing. And I want you to be part of. You know, the funny thing is, young people are easily influenced. Peer pressure is highest at that age. There was a time I was saying, God, how do we reach Muslim young people? It was actually because now they have been taught, they have been trained not to listen. That's what's happening. They have been trained not to listen. And my heart was reaching out to young people, Muslim people, because I will walk up to a Muslim and just tell me, no, I'm not going to even listen to you, because they've told them there's something about what they're saying that will transform you. Don't let them speak to you. And you know what God told me? God told me, empower their peers. They can't say no to their friends. If it's someone that they know, Pastor Oyinda what happened to her? Where is she? Pastor Oyinda was a hijab wearing, you know those people that wear, and you know the way she is now. You did not wear it. Okay, no, you wore hijab. You wore the normal hijab that used to reach school, whatever. She got offended at them in the mosque because they didn't make her a leader. She said, I have been so, you know the way she is. You know she's a strong leader even now. So she was like that too in Islam. Very strong. She said, imagine, they didn't make me a leader. And she was offended. And then one day, a Christian friend, she don't want to even preach the gospel. She just came and said, I was led to, she don't even preach. So I was led to ask you to come to church. And that's how Pastor Inda carries saying, in fact, I'm even going to that church safe. That's why she's here today. The day Pastor Ida went to church, the whole school heard about it. Say, did you see when the whole school heard about the fact that she went to church? It was news. They carried it. And that news spread around because she was a dedicated Muslim girl. So it was weird for her to walk into a church. But a friend, an activated friend. Imagine if that friend even was raised by Dominion House and was discipled. How do you think she would have even turned out? She would have entered discipleship even faster. Because it took her a while to find Dominion House, to even find her feet. Because after that, she was like, but this is not the gospel I heard when I was a child. I need to find, and then when she found Dominion House, she was like, okay, this is it. So can you imagine if activated disciples are sent into the schools to infiltrate the system and they are taught to go, they are taught to preach. It will be easier to reach these people, to reach the unsaved. Because one friend will say, girl, you need to believe in Jesus. Jesus died. If she can't say she doesn't want to listen to her friend. So that is more powerful among the young people. This peer pressure thing, like, can we use it positively? That's the idea. So I tell him, go and meet your friends. And then he goes and brings his friends to me, which is what is happening in my cell right now. Please give me a friend now. Friend. Oh my goodness. They look alike. No, but that's how it happens. And so you see, in cell meetings now, we now have another new B. Meanwhile, I'm not done with them. This one has bad guys. This one has guys that will smell of cigarettes. They'll be smelling of cigarette during the meeting. You'll be smelling cigarettes. But you see now, do you understand? So I'm like, okay, you brought one. Can you give me another one? You know, it's very easy for them to duplicate. They duplicate faster than we do. That's the truth. They duplicate way faster. Now I have 2 new guys. Each of them, now this one is new, so I will still train him small while you are still giving me friends. Please go and bring them. They won't all join church, but I will have a lot of them to choose from. By the time I'm done, by the time I activate you too. Please, can you get me one? Just one. Now I have 3 newbies. Hey! The newbies you have can help you hit your goals faster than any other. This is how I hit my goals. Newbies, honestly. So most of the time when we say hit our goals, we are thinking, oh, I need to do code. Yes, you need to do code evangelism because you need to build your network. But while you are doing that, you are partnering with your newbies to get their own network, their own already ready network. They already have this tool in their network. They're already friends with them, so they don't have to make friends. I am still trying to make friends with those I meet on Cold Evangelism, but their pool of friends come into church, and this is the fastest way to actually hit your goal of 5. This is the fastest way. Partnership. Come on, someone say partnership. Please, thank you, partners. Please have your seat. Now you understand the first way. I will do network evangelism. Partnership. I know you've always known this. Now there's a second one. And that's the one we're going to talk about right now. Next, please. I call this retargeting, and we've not been doing this. Now we're going to start doing it. Now, what does this mean? People I meet on Cold Evangelism, I don't just meet them and ask, I can meet them and ask them to come to church. But what happens to those that do not respond immediately? I nurture them. I retarget them. So basically, retargeting is retargeting people that you've met through Cold Evangelism. I'm going to teach you the system by which you can do that. It's going to be easy, so it's not going to be hard or anything. We're going to have a very simple method of nurturing our network. We call this process nurturing. That is, please, the next slide. I want to show you something. Next slide. Look at that. Will you ask a lady to marry you the first time you meet her? Well, it's possible. Is that Okay. Whatever your answers are, I would like to stick with my old school. My old school idea. It is better you nurture the friendship first and get to know that person before you ask, right? Now, what we do most times is that we just throw the question at our cold evangelism, at our cold prospects. And that is why we don't get the conversion we need. So really, cold evangelism is mainly to make friends that you will warm up into church over a period of time, not immediately. Yes, you may get the last time I went on evangelism, I think I did 30 prospects in one day, and I only got 2 to come to church. That is a good conversion. Because 1% of 30 is almost nothing. It's because I've been doing it for a while. That's why I could even get 2 people to come. Nothing, because 1% is 0.3. Nothing. That means if you go out and you get 30 prospects, you are not likely to get 1 to come to church. If you even do it, you have tried. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what do you really do with your prospects that you collect on cold evangelism? That's what we're going to talk about now. Next, please. So let's talk about communities. Someone say communities. You put them in communities. Now, this is a completely new strategy that we're bringing into Dominion House. So please, I need you to be very attentive at this point. We have not done this before. What we used to do was that we put them on podcast broadcast, but that has not been effective. The reason is because different people move at different rates. So this person might be careful enough, or detailed enough, or focused enough to do it, and then the other person is not that focused to do it, and not maybe no time or something, or does not even remember, or you have to train again. But now we're going to do this in a very simple way, so that everybody does it. Everybody can do it. Anybody can do it. All you need to do is to build a community. So what is a community? Let's move on, please, faster. It's an online group where there are young people. So online group of young people, or I said young people because that's what we're doing. So we bring no back, please. Where our cold prospects are nurtured till they become disciples. So what we are saying now is that Dominion House installations, all Dominion House installations should build communities. Bring together your cold prospects on a group where the nurturing takes place systematically. So this is a systematic way. It's not based on individuals. It's not about you have the capacity, you don't have a capacity. You understand, you don't understand. No, it's simple, it is easy. All you need to do is collect your prospect and make sure they join a group. Make friends with them, warm up to them, and make sure they join a collective community group. Hospitals, those are community entry strategies. Because there is no community you enter that they don't need to go to school. That the children will not need school, right? There is no community you enter that the children do not need hospitals. So what we are trying to do now is to replicate what they did, but with an online idea. Because of course we have said it now. When we're talking about where our target market, where we mention online. That means we actually have to be stronger online. Right? So they use that to enter into community, and it worked for them. That is why Catholic people, that is what we call community entry. They will break into any community very easily with their hospitals and with their schools. Now, we are not going to use hospitals or schools. We are going to use our online communities. What we are trying to do here is to build a 360 degrees development. Do you know what that means? We're not just talking spiritual things. We're talking empowerment. Look at what Captain Eddie said. Meet their needs. We are going to be giving them empowerment on those communities. We're going to be talking about finances. We're going to be talking about relationships. We're going to talk about everything that plagues the young person, so that those communities are interesting to them, they are attractive to them, and they want to remain there because they are getting value. Someone said there's nothing that is free. And skill. Thank you, Mom. There's nothing that is free. If something is free, we are the product. They're our product. And we're going to give them freebies. So we're going to train them. We're going to empower them. We're going to give them skills on those communities. So the communities are not just going to be spiritual. We're going to have Bible study, yes. We're going to have prayers. But we're going to give them 360 degrees development all round. And these skills will be targeted at meeting the needs of the young person. I thought you guys were going to clap. Except you're not listening to me. All right. So they'll be growing spiritually, mentally, emotionally, career, business, financial, all those skills. And each community must have a community leader. So what we are thinking is that we're going to set apart a leader that will not be into teams, but will be thinking about the community. The leader is thinking, how many people do we need to raise? How many people do we need to reach? or convert into this community, not into this community this month. So your leader can decide that I want 500 people in the community this month. 500. We will need to increase by 500 every month. Do you know what your church will be like if your community increased by 500 every month? Think about it. If you converted 1%, that will be 5. If you converted the remaining 37% that are just, what do you think will happen? Before you know it, there'll be explosive growth. So we're thinking nurturing. How do we nurture these people? And that's what the communities are here to do. So community will have community leaders that will guide the activities of the community to the point of commitment. Right? So there will be Bible study time. There'll be prayer time. There'll be empowerment seminars. There'll be invitation going on. They'll be sending invites to them to attend church, attend boot camp, attend other things while they're there. I want to ask you a question. Who do you think will respond to you faster? Someone in your community or a cold market that you've never met before? If you need to get first-timers in church, who do you think will respond to you faster? You want to do boot camp, who do you think will respond to you faster? So if you just focused on building your community as a church leader, you will hit your goals easily. You won't struggle to hit goals. Because when you reach out to your community, they'll just, they know you. They already know you. You have already given them value. And that's the most, you have given something to them first, without asking for anything back. Again, building a community qualifies your prospects. It shows them that this is the kind of person you're looking for, because what you have done is to attract them by your own with the bait, with the correct bait. If you use the correct bait, you attract the right audience. So when they walk in, you know that, okay, this person, I'm looking for this person. So what we are trying to do now in the Dominion House, everyone look at me. What we are trying to do now is to bring people to a point that, how do I say this? When they click on any of our links, they will never be able to shake us off again. If they can click a link, we have them for life. Whether they join our community or not, we will chase their destiny. That's what we're trying to achieve. They click on a web link or a Wellmation link. I'll talk about that later. And we will be chasing them all throughout the cyberspace. They'll see us everywhere they go. You guys know what happens when you click a link. Maybe you go to Jumia. What happens to your Instagram page? What happens? You start seeing Jumia everywhere. Jumia. But I'm like, I just checked something on Jumia now. What is the meaning of this? That's what happens, because what have you done? You've triggered the cyberspace. You've triggered them to say, this is my interest. And so what happens when someone clicks a Dominion House link? Say you come, you say, are you depressed? Listen to this podcast. You click it. Even if you were not interested, just clicked it out of mistake, we will be in your cyberspace. That's what we're trying to achieve now. So no contact is lost. No one is lost. Nothing is wasted. We don't want to waste destinies anymore. We don't want to waste numbers anymore. We don't want to waste it. Once they come in contact with us in any way, we are reaching them everywhere they are. Thank you for those who clapped. Now you understand. So instead of relying on individual podcasts, people joining podcasts, putting their podcast, please, you still need your podcast broadcast list, but we're going to use it in a more systematic way now. We are thinking communities. We want to warm up our cold audience in the communities. Next slide, please. Oh, move on. I already asked this. Move on, please. Next slide. Right, there are two types of communities, the local and the global community. We already have a global community. That's our prayer arc. But now we want everyone to build local communities. That is, your church builds a community. Your community, that's the next communities, build their. That's actually what next community did. They built a community first. They started with Next Network. They built a community of people that were not committed. And then they started asking for community commitment over time. And that's why they are thriving the way they are. You can see church growth is not hard. It's just strategic and intentional. It's not even hard. And these strategies, we brought them out of the Bible, and these are also strategies that people have used to grow their churches. Why do you think people do things like next level, baby prayers? Why? All of us know that those prayers are baby prayer. That they're not the real thing. Why? It's catching attraction. Say, come and pray for your problem. You know what happened in Jesus' time? People came for miracles. People came for bread and fish. But that was where the disciples were gotten from. That was where the 120 came from. There was a 5,000 that the 120, can you imagine? 5,000 to 120. That's not even up to the 120 disciples and 5,000 crowd. 5,000 crowd, but only 120 activated people. You can see that we have but if the 5,000 did not come, the 120 will not have been raised. So we need to think out of the box. Yes, we're not next level prayer is not our prayer. That's not what we are. We don't pray like that. But it's an attraction strategy, because if you say, come and pray for the kingdom, you don't even know what I'm going through. Do you know what I'm going through? You never, what are you talking about? Which kingdom? Kingdom of man or kingdom of me? Let's move on. All right. So I already said this. Now I want to say something about the hook. This is where the work is. Now all of you know how fishing is. There's a hook, right? So when we share our links, we don't just want to say, now we don't want to be saying, listen to the podcast. We don't want that anymore. Links are going to be shared strategically. They're going to be attached to a hook, and they will also be attached to a Wamation or web link. So for you to retrieve whatever it is that you want, you will not just go to podcast direct or go to Morning Dew direct. No, that's not going to happen anymore. There's going to be an intermediary or an interface, either through a website or through an admin's Wamation link. Now, if those of you who don't know Wamation is an app that allows WhatsApp marketing to be easy. So it helps you to retarget your audience. Now, every administrator will have a Wamation link. So when you are sending out your audios are the easiest way, because have you heard Pauline praying on somebody's ringtone? The other day, Pastor Iswa said she was somewhere just talking, and then she heard, say it 1,000 times. I mean, who is that? And the person was not a church member. Say it 1,000 times has reached where we have not reached. What? Yeah. You did the team now. You are in the team. I've recruited you. Did you hear what Pastor David said now? How about making it I'm serious. That's what we're thinking. Caller tunes. Somebody calls you and they're hearing, say it 1,000 times. Because listen to me, invasion is subtle. People don't even know what's happening to them. They just be hearing, say it 1,000 times. When I was young, I used to hear this, so mightily grew the word of God, and it prevailed. Some of you know that, Pastor. It was going all over the place. I never joined that church, but it still stuck to my mind. In fact, I know that scripture because of it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Imagine if we did this. As we turn our ring, and now everybody has to be involved. Everybody has to be actively doing this. Do you understand? When we're thinking about it, I was like, I don't like to put my phone on loud. I don't like to increase it. I like silent mode. But I will do this because of the invasion. I will do it for the invasion. So when my phone rings, I say it 1,000 times. Christianity is a speaking faith. Well, if you're not speaking, I don't know what you are doing. You say, please, who is that? It happens all the time. People will just ask you who is, and that is your opening point. You say, it's my reverend. Would you like to get... You know it over? You know it over? Okay, you know what? I will send you a link. I will send you a link right now. Just listen to this powerful podcast. TikTok, things work everywhere. I'm serious. There are this audio stuff online that show. Say, what did you say? TikTok challenge. Say it 1,000. Please, can we write that down? Please, let's write it down. TikTok challenge. Say it 1,000 times. Oh my God! We're going to start that right after this camp. I'm telling you, that's the way forward. Like seriously, say it 1,000 times. People wonder, what is this? Do you realize how many of you saw our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Dominate. Honestly speaking, did I say you people are playing? Why are you playing? Instead of you to be showing us serious things on the internet. But seriously, praise word carry that. Now I say, I just ask God, I say, what happened there? Praise word. That thing has millions. I'm telling you. And I said, why did you people put Dominion House logo behind it very well now? Do you understand? Because that is what sells online. And those are attraction strategies. Sometimes you are feeling we need to, yes, we are going to be serious, but we must attract. And what attracts must be entertaining, must be intriguing, and must be that they are three educative. Those are the three things that attract online. Education, entertainment, and there's inspiration. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That thing is still, they are still having views. At the point I said, the chocolate for first timers. Please, people should donate the money. Because you were here, first timers, free chocolate. Oh, where is the chocolate? One day I looked up and I saw some guys with plaited hair in my church. I said, yeah! You attracted it now. All of them. Oh, plaited hair. But that's it. That is how we are. That's young people for you. That's attraction. I just felt, see all of them. Now the pastor David Peter say, after the way I say, okay, you're a pastor. Losing it. Now. I don't care why you buy. But that plaited hair attracted all of them. They say, this one plaited his hair. The other one to do the dress. I'm going to that church. They will accept me as I am. And we will accept them as they are. And change them into disciples. The end. That's what we're trying to do. 1 hour to stop time. Whoa, I'm sorry. I still have 30 minutes. We are doing marketing. It's business. Yes. And when I look at Ikorodu Church, I wonder why there are so many young boys that look alike. Guys. And then when they surround their pastor, the pastor looks like them too. Say, the only reason you know he's the pastor is because he has, an air of, I'm the daddy. One of them say, they say, now, wow. We attract. We need to present ourselves as a brand that loves young people. And we take them as they are. We're not trying to change them from the word go. In fact, we're not the ones that will change them. That is the work of the word. That is the work of the gospel. The gospel is God's transformation tool. So we need to bring them to a point where they will even hear it. Because we can't, if they don't listen to it, what will happen? Nothing can happen except they hear. All right, next slide. You want to say something?
Now, you see, this is so powerful. You know how many people know we have women's ministries, we have this ministry. Now, how many people join Dominion House from the women's ministry? Rise up, stand up. Now, all my pastors. Like all my pastors. But was campus ministry. So it was something. LOBI. You to stand up. It was campus women's ministry, campus ministry. Even Pastor Dame, you need to stand up because it was through your wife. Now, can you all see what I'm talking about? Now you can see all the people in front. They came from a community. Yeah, that's true. Faith. Okay, Leader Buki, that's GLW campus. GLW campus then. Wimbees, right? WKB now. Of course, our director, WKB. Do you understand? Now, can you see all the people in front? And that's the power of communities. If we're able to nurture communities, if we're able to really nurture communities, you realize that they will listen to you more. When they see what they want, then they can take the next step and join. And that's why we're looking at these communities as our next level, as the next big thing in the Dominion House.
All right, thank you, Mommy. Now you can see what we're trying to achieve. This time we're going to build these communities intentionally. And then we're not going to wait for WKB and we are going to build our own communities with our own target audience intentionally, and everyone's going to be a part of it. When we start the 1,000, what do you call it? 1,000, no, say it 1,000 times challenge. What do you think is going to happen? The people whose interest will be immediately, quick. What will happen then? We will send them to communities. Once someone says, I like you guys, we say, oh, really? Click the link. Like, click the link. Get to know us better. Click the link, right? Now, look at all our hooks. Let's look through them very carefully, because this is the main point. When you have a good hook, you get the correct target. If your hook is faulty, you cannot reach your target. So the hooks are very important and very strategic, and I want all of us to understand them, and then we'll move on to other things. In fact, what's left is not much. Right, publicity materials, stickers, banners, billboards. We want to do publicity, especially on campuses where there is density of our target market. You know what Reverend said yesterday? That is the gate to the city. If we can catch them on campus, we've caught them for life. Now, those of you on campus, you understand better what we're trying to do, right? So that you can run with it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, on campus, there are a lot of young people looking at there are a lot of places where people sit down to relax. Yeah, there are park benches. We also have billboards, banners that can be stuck to certain places on campus. We're not just going to stay. It's not just going to be by inviting you to church. That's not what it's going to be about. We want our publicity materials to be very strategic. For instance, we want to have something that says, would you like to get a podcast of 30 days? Or something that is need sensitive. Are you depressed? Listen to this. Do you need to spark up your prayer life? Scan this code. Yeah, that's what's written there. Scan this code. Do you need to, something that will minister to the person that we're trying to catch? Do you want to pray? Are you having relationship issues? Scan this code. Yeah, pray for your husband is going out too. Just like Pauline prayers. Pauline prayers is even still deep. Pauline prayers is we will have one for men. Pray for your wife. Oh, really? Oh, great. That's great. We'll do that. So confessions, audio confessions. Pray for your husband. Pray for your wife. Financial intelligence confessions. Pray for speaking to your finances. Speaking to your this. Speaking to your that. We're going to be doing a lot of that. A lot. So people will just scan code. Scanning of code. If you scan that code, you enter somewhere. You either enter a Wamation link or you go into a web link. I'm going to show you both pathways and how it works, but that's what I'm saying. You just get into a link and you're caught for life. Caught for life. And so you see, what else we have here? Stickers, free ebooks. My goodness, ebooks are like, for campus invasion, ebooks and free books. You can't do without them. They are crazy. I mean, they are I think I was talking to someone one day, and then he said, I heard you speak. Do you belong to this church? And he showed me an ebook, and I was like, no, it was a Deeper Life book or something. I can't remember. And I realized that it's down. Hallelujah. These guys are using this strategy. So they don't just give out free ebooks, they give out free ebooks with a hook. Free ebooks that are meaningful to the campus student, first of all. Something that you want to read. So what we want to do is that we want to have small books that I can finish within an hour. Very small book. Would you like to pray? Would you like to help? Do you want us to help you pray? Relationship issues. What else do they have? Financial issues. What else? Need specific, not just spiritual growth. Do you know relationship wahala, money wahala, things that have to do with how to know God's will, how to know purpose, what else? How to hear from God. In fact, before we do this, we're going to do research. We're going to actually go out and give out questionnaires and make people feel surveys, because we want to even know what they are thinking. We want to know what their problem is, so that we can create materials that will solve those problems. Because that's the only way you can catch them. If you don't know your target audience, or you don't know what their problems are, you can't solve it. So something that keeps them awake at night. What keeps a regular campus student awake at night? Assignments, reading, how to pass exams, how to pass as a law student, how to pass as a medical student, how to pass as a whatever student, these You might feel, oh, they're not spiritual, but their attraction, their hooks. If we don't meet them at the point of their needs, the devil will and present something else to them. So we want to be able to meet that, and then now make them take further action by scanning a code or reaching out to a contact or something. So that's what we want to do. So all of that, online space with ebooks, where you just click a link and exchange your contact for the ebook. Yeah. So after that, the prospects will be invited to join our e-communities or our prayer arc. Now this is how it goes. Next please. So when we send out links now for when we start to do this, we start to sorry about that, bro. I'll explain it. Don't worry. When we start to work these things out, work out the strategies, you'll be getting your links in and embedded. You'll be getting either a Wamation link or a link that's embedded in a web page. So they won't just go out. Morning dew won't just go out like that. Just say, we'll have a nice hook connected to it. Are you feeling sad today? Listen to this. Or listen to this to spark up your prayer life. Pray with me for 1 hour. Do you know God's purpose for your life? Are you having financial issues? Listen to this. Something that will just keep their interest. Crack your wet coat. Yeah, that's a good one. That's why Kingdom Summit. 1 hour of Kingdom Summit. Free 1 hour of Kingdom Summit. But link to a web link. So when the person clicks the Wamation, what happens after that? That's what this is talking about. Is attach. So the Wamation link to the admin's DM. What's this one responding to? Okay, that. The admin sees the number. Once you click a Wamation link, it's triggered. It's triggered to save the number as a number that has opted in. So meaning that number is not strange anymore to the app, right? At the same time, have you ever clicked anything online and you just land in somebody's space and the person says, "Hi, my name is." That's an autoresponder, by the way. It's an app. The person may not even be there. So my name is this. I'm this. Please save my number as this. And when you are done, say done. Sometimes I don't even do it and I've said done. But somehow you don't even get it. You don't get the link if you don't do it. You don't get to see the person's DM if you don't do it. So but because you need to get that thing of value, you will save that number. That's what we're trying to do here. So the person gets into the admin number, admin's DM, and saves the number as whatever you want the number saved as. I would rather maybe either use the first name of the admin or use your local church name, whatever you think is okay. At that point, save number. Then here, when the person says done, you send the community link. So the person now clicks the community link and joins your community. If the person wants, what's it called? Something from you, the audio, you send the audio and send the community link under. Because the idea is actually to get the person into the community. Now, if you go out and you get cold contact, okay, cross-selling. Yes, exactly. That's what's called cross-selling. You give something else, but we don't want to go into. Don't let us confuse people. And then the person joins the community. Now, if you get to a point when you meet a cold prospect, you meet someone on the road that you've never met before, how do you convert that person into a community member? Because that should be the next step. You may not be able to get the person to church, but you should be able to convert the person into a community, because community does not need commitment. Right? So what do you do? First of all, you want to contact that person within 24 hours. I think I wrote it somewhere here, but I can't find it. Within 24 hours. Why? Because you are just meeting the person for the first time. So if you contact the person after, she may not remember you. Remember, you are networking. You are trying to make friends. Sometimes when you're doing cold evangelism, just talk to people. Not to even bring them to, just to know them. Just to get, because when they are your friend, they are under your influence. Once they have become your friends, your online friends, they are now they will do whatever you want. So and that's why sometimes I don't like saying I'm a pastor, because I need to come down. I need to take out any barrier that makes the person feel up. I want the person to be free with me. So I just meet people. I just shake them. They may even say I'm a member of another church. I'm part of them. Okay. Can I just get to know you? Because I'm building my network, so that I can finally add them to my community. There are many people that go to church that are not churched because they are not being discipled. As long as you're not being discipled, you are not churched. Simple. So I add them to your list. You save the number after you contact the person within 24 hours. You save the person's number. After you have saved the person's number, you are now coming. Now the person also saves your number, right? And then one day, what do? You send the person a link. Hi, I just said send this to you. It's a 1 minute or a 10 minutes confession on my husband. Pray for my husband. Or is it or is a 10 minutes confession for on what? On something something. And this is why we need to form our broadcast list. So you put them on that broadcast list as well. You form a broadcast list and say, I would like to be sending you podcasts, or I would like to send you stuff once in a while. Take permission from the person. It's very important because you don't want to force anybody into this relationship. You know, it's now a relationship. It's a discipleship relationship you are trying to form with that person. You don't want to force the person into you. So I want to be sending you podcast. I want to be sending you stuff once in a while. Do you mind? And then you add the person to the podcast person. Or do you want to join a community of young, vibrant community? That also works. I would even prefer that you do communities. It's easier to nurture people. And then the nurturing is not your work again. It's now the work of the admin. So if you can add people to your community and grow your community, please, the next slide. I think I wrote this in the next slide. I wrote it somewhere. Change to the next slide. Okay, hold on. I must have passed it. This is the last slide. If you can add people to your community consistently, they will be nurtured automatically by the admin in the community. So your own is just to meet with them and add them to the community. Meet with them and add them. Let me shouldn't stress people with podcasts. Just add them to community. So imagine if you gave your people a goal of 500. That's 10 people meeting 50 people. It's very easy to do that. Very easy. So what I want to do, something I want to do in Yaba Church is to ask them to go on a week-long evangelism. Just collect 50 contacts. And let's add in 1 week. That's cold evangelism. We are going to hit the street and each person will collect 50 contacts. If 10 people collect 50 contacts, that's 500 contacts. Your community grows by 500 every month. Your membership will grow by at least 5 every month. It's that simple. At least that is the smallest number of people that will eventually get in. And you know, when you start building your communities, you will not see results immediately. Because it takes a while to nurture people to the point of activation. And that's why you have to be consistent with it so that you can get results over time. Do you understand what I'm saying? And by the time you build 5,000 people, do you know how many people will respond when you put one link that just say, I'm inviting you to Bloody Weekend? Do you know how many people will respond? 50. Without follow-up. So you can see the power of community. You can see the power of communities. And that's even one network. They are your one network. We said cold evangelism will give you 1%. Imagine 5,000 engaged people. What will it give to you if you invite them to church or invite them for a program? What will happen? So we should focus at this time on building our communities. Have a strategy of sending your people out to say, go and bring in people. Cold evangelism. Let's do 500 this week. Let's do 1,000. Have a goal like that of people that you want to join the communities. Your admin will be there saying, I need 500 people. The admin will always drive those goals and say, we need to raise 500 people. We need to increase the community by 500 people and activate the people to go and bring in people using their links, their warm networks, and their cold evangelism to do the same. I hope you understand. Now we are moving on. We said we're going to talk about 4 things. What was the first? Who are our target audiences? Number 2, where we can find them. Number 3, how to attract them. And we've spoken about all of those things. Now we're moving to the last point. How can we get them to be activated? Now I'm going to wrap up everything I've said in a strategy. Those of you in marketing will know this one. Idea strategy. Now you don't have to know the name. Just know what it means. Right? AIDA strategy. Next, please. Now I'm wrapping up. Now I want to just remind you of this pyramid. Who remembers the pyramid? This is why we do the idea strategy. So this strategy is going to help us get all these guys below the pyramid to the top of the pyramid through nurturing. Yes, we're talking about the communities. Now we're going to put everything in a funnel so that we understand it from the point of attraction to the point where they become disciples. So this funnel is basically talking about what happens to a disciple from the point he clicks a link to the point that he becomes a disciple. Move on. I'm about to end now. Okay. So this is it. Attraction. We have talked about attraction. We said we will send out links. So if it's linked to a web page and the person clicks the web page, the web space is triggered to say this is the interest of this person. keep giving him Dominion House materials. Everybody has what that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and engage with it. We can retarget them in an ad. That's everyone that has viewed it can be retargeted. Everyone that has engaged with it will keep seeing Dominion, and that's why, guys, please position online powerfully, because one link will bring that you into that person's space. All that Dominion House adverts or posts will be entering the person's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere Dominion, and that's why we have to position on all the online spaces with powerful contents. Because once a person comes in contact with one, he comes in contact with the others automatically. Now, if it's a Wamation link, it comes into a local community directly. If it's a web link, it gets activated. It gets into a global community, and it also sees our content online, and it can be retargeted at any time. So when we are doing Pathfinder retargeting, we are not trying to create new or look for new audience. We are simply going to be retargeting those that have engaged with our post. That is cheaper, easier, and it will get more conversions than going into a new audience or trying to get a new audience. So you can see the strategy here is we are very intentional now about positioning on the online space as a brand that attracts young people. All right? New beginnings, right? So all these things that we're talking about is ringtone, audio, blah, blah, blah. Please, I need everyone to be intentional about. As a disciple, please be intentional about our audios. Be intentional about spreading our audios. Be intentional about putting that 1,000 times on your ringtone or on your caller tunes. Because we are trying to do something. We are trying to make people aware. A stands for attraction or awareness. I said it before that A is the start point of marketing. At A, the person is not interested, but the person is aware. The more people are aware, the more we will get them into our funnel. So we need to spread our materials everywhere. We want to be like MTN. Everywhere you go, you turn here, you see Dominion House. You turn here, we must be too hard to ignore. That's what we want to do. We want to be too hard to ignore. That is, even if you don't join us, you will smell our perfume. You must hear our voice. You will hear us somewhere. We will chase you. Literally. Do you understand what I'm talking about? We want to start doing ads, and church leaders, you might need to start what's it called? Putting aside a publicity budget. This is very important. This is really important. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everywhere you go, we want to be everywhere. We want to start running ads that will be chasing people. Why am I seeing your ads all over the place? You click one of our links. Simple. You click our link, we got you. You can't run. You're in trouble. We come after you. This destiny, you must fulfill it. Do you know those stickers are also strategies? Those stickers that we put, it's strategy. Attraction awareness strategy. So we need more stickers. Stickers of RD. Stickers of WhatsApp stickers. We need those stickers going out. That's how people get popular. It's not more than that. Visibility equals what? Money these days. Visibility for us will equal what? Disciples. Souls that will be turned to disciples, right? Invasion. So we need to be more visible, right? So look at all of that. Next is interest. Interest, when a member or when a prospect clicks our link, that means he's interested. That's a further. The moment the prospect takes action, any action at all, that shows that the person is interested. So that action qualifies them. That action says, this is the kind of person you are looking for, as long as you have put out the right hook. You understand? So at this point, the prospect comes into our communities. Or just listens to the podcast and goes away, but still gets Instagram, Facebook, whatever. But hopefully we really want them to come into our communities, because in our communities, that's where the magic happens. That's where the nurturing happens. When they are not in our communities, they are not properly nurtured. So when it comes to the community, you know it's interested. What happens in the community? We start to give out what? We start to do activities. Bible study activities, I think once a week. Prayer activities once a week. Daily podcast activities that they click to listen to. And then we have occasional empowerment webinars and need-specific empowerment that goes on in these communities. And those are nurturing activities. So once in a while, the admin is also sending, because with Wamation, you can send DM, direct DM. You can send DM to all your people and say, hi, I just thought of you today, and I did a 1-minute prayer for you. Listen to it. Hi, have you confessed the word today? This is a 10 minutes word. Listen to it. Hi, we are inviting you to our church, our friends and family. Please activate what's it called? Friends and Family Sunday, or that first Sunday being a celebration Sunday. Please, it's very important because people will think, what is special about the service? Why am I coming? That first service, make it big. Say we are doing Jesse Sunday. The day we did Jesse Sunday in our church, I said now people are carnal. As in people are carnal. No, me, I'm serious, but I don't know. Black people. I'm like, are these guys not? Are they not deep? Because we're doing Jesse Sunday, come and see people in Jesse. Hey, we now played game. People did not go on until 3 p.m. But it was a normal service. Now my guys told me, Pastor Ayo, please just 1 hour preaching. Just stick to time. I said, stick. These people need to hear the word. Don't worry. Just do 1 hour. We want to do game. Game. In a service. No. Say, Pastor Ayo, don't worry. Just trust us. There was no space in the church. It will shock you, the things that young people want. And it's weird. But that's the only way you can attract them. And until you can attract them, you can't take them further down the funnel. So that's the idea. So create interesting first services, friends and family service. Friends and family is for friends and family of the church. And say, hi, we're having Friends and Family Sunday this Sunday, and you're our friend. So we'd like for you to show up in church this Sunday. With your family, thank you. And the dress code is, what's the next dress code? And white, or say jersey, or no, something young. Something Gen Z, jacket or something, like, I don't know, whatever. I don't do those things because I can't come down to that. I can't even think of those ideas. But something cargo pants. You will see the way people will respond and say, hey. And when they come into your church, you got them. They get to the next stage. Decision, discipleship, relationship. Once they take that next step, they leave your community and they take the very next step. The next step after community, invite to friends and family 1. Invite to boot camp 2. Write it down because I didn't write it all. I just did bang, 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 bang. I didn't put it on this slide. Those are the next steps. Invite to boot camp. There's something called boot camp. Lighthouses do it a lot, where you have challenges, seasonal challenges, and then you say spiritual growth boot camp or something. Those are the things. Once a prospect starts to make those decisions, it means that person has started to say, I want something deeper than the ordinary, or I'm ready for the next level of relationship. You are in a relationship. This is a relationship, a discipleship relationship, right? So there's another thing we call discipleship starter packs. This is new. So what we want to do now, we want to put together a group of small books, spiritual resources that we can give to people to read, right? I think about 10 books in one. All those are what's it called? White Tongues, New Life in Christ, Tongues of Angels. What? In Pursuit of Purpose. There's another one that's really small. How to Pray Long Hours. Small books like that people can finish in a short time. And they want to put them together in a starter pack. Law of Meditation. So we want to put them together in a starter pack. When someone says, I'm interested. Okay, one house, please. I'm interested in getting into a discipleship relationship with you. Then we start them out on those books. We'll explain this further during our pastors' meetings, but I just want you to know how it goes. So we start them. So at the point when the person takes a further decision, either you have been the one that has been enticing the person. But now, it's time for something deeper. When they take a further step and say, I'm ready, that is when they get to the D point. That is discipleship relationship, and they make a decision to start. Thank you. I'm almost done. All right. Activation. Because now they're now team leaders have to be you have to position team leaders at this point. Discipleship relationship should be done by team leaders. People come into boot camp, team leaders should be activated. Hello, team leaders. They'll go into their DM and say, hi, we got your request. I'm your team leader for this time. I would like you to come for our Bible study. Team leaders have to be have to be positioned at this point. At this point, decision discipleship relationship point, team leaders start work. Because this is one-on-one. It is no longer admin. Admin is the one that will not hand over to you and say, these guys are ready for the next level. And then team leaders take over. These are the people that will fill your CBS teams. These are the people that will become your disciples eventually. All right? These are people you do Bible study with. All right? So we have to be intentional at this stage, because most of the guys here will get to A, which is activation. At that point, that is when they do CBS and say, I'm ready to be activated. I'm ready to start this journey, because they have now been taught. CBS is where we teach them. That is why CBS is very strategic. CBS is not just for in-house. It's an outreach. We need to bring in people there. That's why we have a discipleship relationship with them. And then we give them the starter pack. And then we get them into Bible study, where they are taught that they are meant to go, where they are activated to go. That is what happens at CBS. And here, they now make up their minds and say, I'm ready. That is A, activation. And then they do this Connect Bible School, the CIDS or the Pathfinder at that point. And then they get into church. This is our strategy. This is our strategy. Now, I know that most people don't still understand it, but your pastors will help you understand it. You go back to church, your churches, your lighthouses, your campus churches, your regions, your next communities, and you'll be taught properly, because we need to all know it. Everybody needs to understand what we are doing so that everybody can be positioned to do this correctly. Hallelujah. I think that's the end. Please, do I have any questions? Any questions or... All right. So go back home or to your churches and ask your pastors any questions you have, because the point is, this first time we are hearing this, and it's going to be difficult for you to get it the first time. So we're going to be training and retraining and retraining and retraining this until we all get it. Until we all get it. There's a lot more in between. There's a lot more in between that I can't say here, but we all understand the idea and the concept and what we're trying to do. All right then. All right. Let's just rise up to our feet and just pray general. Let's just speak in tongues for a while. I just thank God for what you see when we say we are that this is our year of new beginnings. This is what we're talking about. There are going to be so many things that we have to think about. We have to think out of the box. We're going to have to think differently to attract the kind of people that we want. And we have to be malleable. We have to be soft in God's hands. We have to be willing to accept these things. I want to just pray for yourselves wherever you are. And just pray, just like we prayed in the beginning, that our hearts will be open, our eyes will be opened as we step into this new thing that God is doing in our midst. As we understand what God is doing, we begin to understand it more. And we become that church that is not far from the world that it was made to reach. There's a way church can be far from the world that is meant to reach. We don't want to be that church. We want to be the church that people can relate to. People can feel, I am accepted in this place. These people are real. They're not aloof. They are real. And then from there we will turn them into disciples that we want them to be. Hallelujah. You want to sing a song? Please sing a song.
Hallelujah. Glory to God. And who is excited in the house? It's such an amazing season. Indeed, it's a new beginning, because I'm hearing things I haven't heard before. And I'm excited to be here, by the way. We young people, we young people in the house. Glory to God. And we've come to the end of an amazing morning session. It's the World Changers Camp Meeting Day 2. And we've had such insights. We've had an amazing time. This strategy is a blockbuster strategy. And, we all need to be ready to run. The amazing thing about strategies is if you have a strategy and you're not ready, we don't have soldiers to run with the strategy, then it remains just a strategy. Right? It remains just as a strategy. So we need to, get ourselves ready, get ourselves prepared to carry out this plan and make it a success. And while Pastor Ayo was talking, can you please, while Pastor Ayo was talking, what came to mind, what was running in my mind was like, soldier ants. Who knows soldier ants? Soldier ants. They're blind, right? They don't see. They're blind. They're blind. That's why they usually move in a straight line. You know how they move in that straight line? How they detect where they're supposed to go? They use pheromones. So you see a single soldier ant, after a while you see they become more. How they are connecting is that one soldier ant will release pheromones. So that's what they feed on. They pick on the pheromones and they all go in line, marching in that straight line. And when they come in contact with an obstruction, you know what they do? The same pheromones, they will just, and they go back. They are focused. There is no looking to the left or to the right, or the formation does not break. They are always matching in formation with the use of pheromones. So we're releasing our pheromones into the atmosphere and we're attracting soldiers. That's what we're doing. It's an invasion. It starts quietly and then it turns into something big, impacting and taking over the world. And that's what we're doing here at the World Changers Camp meeting. So I'm privileged to be here. I believe you also, you've heard it. Everyone that has heard this, you are one chance. There is no, I want to unhear. It's like I tell our disciples in Brother Thomas Lighthouse. I say, you've heard it now. You cannot unhear it. Hallelujah. And in the book of Colossians 4:17 says, and say to Archippus, see that you fulfill the ministry that you have received in the Lord. Another translation, as the NIV says, say to it that you complete the ministry that you have received. So you have heard it, you must complete it. Hallelujah. So let's listen to the following announcements. One else please. If we're looking for, there's a missing black leather watch. Right? Please, if you find it, please hand it over to Pastor Blessing or Director Sheyi Adara. Pastor Blessing, where are you? Director Sheyi Adara. Please, if you find the leather wristwatch, please hand over to either of them. Thank you. Now, also, we found a missing key. We found a missing room key. If you misplaced your key, please see Director Oyinda. Otherwise, you are not entering your room. Now. You sleep outside. And the mosquitoes here are very unforgiving. So okay, thank you. All right. Now we have extra beds available. Extra beds are still available. So if you need an extra bed, please find your way to the reception desk. Right? Go to the reception desk and pick up an extra bed if you need one. The next session begins at 3 p.m. prompt. I believe we have soldiers in the house. We're soldiers, right? Next session starts at 3 p.m. sharp. Please, it's camp meeting. You didn't come here for a vacation. It's camp meeting. Okay. So please pick up. Please also hold up. Nobody lives here except you. Check around you. If you find any litter, any empty bottle, please pick it up. Gate man or gate woman or gate person. Nobody leaves that door without showing something. Pick something and show at the door. That's your way out. Okay, I think the few announcements we have left is